Hey there, it is your friend Chris Luck. I am the creator of AIville, which is the largest community in the world for people like yourself and me who are learning how to use AI. And I believe I've got my audio turned on today. Yesterday, I went live and talked for 3 minutes and realized I had no audio until I looked at the chat, and then it looked like then it looked like I had no audio, so I had to go back and edit it and everything. So we should be good to go right now. And someone says I look frightened. Don't be. Yeah, I'm not frightened. I was just preparing for right now. So what we're talking about today is Gemini Canvas, and I'm going to give you a full Gemini Canvas tutorial. And this is really going to be for beginners only. And I'm going to show you how to use Gemini Canvas, and we're going to walk through just a lot of really cool use cases, how you can make money with Gemini Canvas, just kind of like what I like to normally do on my live streams. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Wayne Fox says, sound is good and video is good. Thank you, Wayne. And hello again. Come all the way from Scotland, John. And what's up, Robert? And we got Greg here. We have Harry here. And we've got my mom popping in. Thanks for being here, Mom. And I still have not listened to the song you made in Suno today about my dad yet. I feel like I gotta prepare myself for it. So I'll listen to it after this, I promise. And we have Oliver coming in saying he can hear me. Darlene says, what's up, everyone? Thank you. And what's up, Michael? So let's just go ahead and get right to it. What I will do is just share my screen. And like I said, this is going to be just a Gemini Canvas live AI tutorial. I'm going to show you how to use Gemini Canvas. I'm going to explain why it's just a fun new way to interact with AI. We're going to talk about the Gemini Canvas pricing. We'll talk about how to use Gemini Canvas. I'm going to show you how to use it for free in seconds. I'm going to give you a really cool prompt hack that will turn ordinary results into extraordinary results with Gemini Canvas. We'll talk about the dark side that nobody else is talking about. Then we'll go into just my verdict. Is it a useful AI tool, or is it just like an overhyped toy? And then we'll end with 11 ways to make money with Gemini Canvas. So that is going to be what we're going to be talking about. So starting off with it being a fun new way to interact with AI. So Gemini Canvas is not a chat box. I want you to think about it as like a creative playground. So Canvas is going to live inside Google's free Gemini app. So you can see right here on my screen, I have Gemini, which is gemini.google.com. This is where you access Google Gemini. This is where you access Nano Banana 2. This is where you access all kinds of things Google has to offer. So you're going to want to pull up gemini.google.com. And what you'll be able to do is just type what you want. And then when you specifically go to Gemini Canvas, you can watch it get built for you in real time. And I like to think of it as like a whiteboard, and you actually get to watch it do the work for you. There's no coding. You don't have to worry about design. There's no experience. You literally put in words go in, and working creations are going to come out. Now, this does take a little bit longer than using just a normal tool like a Chat GPT or Claude or whatever. And what's really cool about this is that Google built this for anyone and everyone. So all you have to do, if you've ever used Gemini, or if you've ever used Nano Banana, or if you've ever used Nano Banana 2, this is all in the same app. So you go to gemini.google.com. If you want direct access to it, you can go /canvas and you can start for free. There's no download, there's no setup, there's no credit card. 650 million people are already using Gemini monthly. And Canvas is hiding inside the app right now that they already have. And most people don't even know that it even exists yet, and they wouldn't even know how to use it. So that's what I'm here to do, is show you how to use it. And what really makes Canvas genuinely special is that most AI tools just give you text, and Canvas actually gives you things that you can interact with. So you can watch it like a real quiz appear in under 60 seconds. You can watch a 40-page PDF turn into a quiz, like an interactive quiz, grading and everything in minutes. You can take a sketch and watch it become like a full working 3D app. And instead of answering questions like you would normally get with ChatGPT or talking to any AI, Gemini Canvas will actually build things for you. So the pricing breakdown before we get into using it, then I'm going to show you how to use Gemini Canvas for free, but you can use it for free and it's real and it actually works. So again, it's every Google account holder has access to this. There's no trial period. There's no expiration. There's no credit card. You just go to gemini.google.com/canvas. You start right now. The free tier, something you need to know, it runs on Gemini Flash. Now, Gemini Flash is Google's speed model, okay? It just pumps out stuff really fast. For most people, free is more than good enough for just what you're going to use it for. Then there's Google AI Pro. If you want to upgrade your Google account to AI Pro, it's going to kind of unlock the good stuff. So Google AI Pro is $19.99 a month. And what it's going to do is Pro will swap out Flash for Gemini 3 Pro. And that goes for Gemini, that goes for Nano Banana 2, and that goes for Gemini Canvas. So that one swap will make a huge difference in your quality. You're also going to get 100 Pro level requests per day. The first month is free, so you can actually just try it with zero risk and just kind of play around with it. Then there is Google AI Ultra, which is what I have, but this is for power users only. And the reason I have it is because I use the hell out of Gemini, and I do it because I put a lot of things to the test before I go live with you to kind of show you what it's truly capable of. Now, this is $124.99 for 3 months. Like, it's $124.99 a month for the first 3 months. Then after 3 months, it goes to $249.99 a month. And then you get the highest level limits on every single feature. You get what's called Deep Think, which I'll make a whole nother live stream about Deep Think. You get Google VO video. So right now, I think it's VO 3.1. So you get that. And you get early access to new tools, which is really the reason why I have Gemini Ultra. So I can get early access. Then I can show you what you can do with it. Now, most people will never need this tier at all. So when you see the $124.99 a month, don't even sweat it. Like, you can literally use most of what you have access to right now for free. So how you access and how you use Gemini Canvas in seconds is this right here. So you open any browser that you have, you go to gemini.google.com, which I'm right here on my screen here on the right. And then you sign in with a free Google account you already have. If you don't have a Google account, you can create one. It's free. And then what you do is, once you're here, you tap on this little icon on the bottom of the screen called Tools, and it pops up a menu. And this is where, if you create an image, you're going to use Nano Banana 2. If you create a video, you're going to use Google VO 3.1. If you create music, I don't even know what you're using there because I have not used that yet. I'll make a live stream for that one. Because for music, all I recommend is using Suno, but that's a whole nother debate. Then you get Canvas, which we're going to talk about now. You also have the ability to use deep research. You get guided learning, and you get deep think. So every one of these, I will have live streams on for you. But for now, all you got to do is tap on Canvas, and then now your Canvas is activated down here on the bottom. If you do not select Canvas, you're going to go right into just a normal everyday chat with Gemini, just like you would ChatGPT, just like you would Claude, just like you would like any AI tool. And then what you do is you just want to type in whatever it is you want to write or build together, and that's it. So before I do this, I will let you know your first creation is going to be much easier than you think. So you can start with having it write an article just about something, and you can watch Gemini write your article in a new canvas. And you can click a part of the article to open up editing options and all that. So let me actually show you how this works. Let me go a little smaller here on your screen. And then I'm just going to show you just a very basic way of using this. So I will say, all right, let's see, I'm using Whisper here. So I got to think before I actually activate it. Write an article about the AI gold rush and how this point in time is the best time to make some extra money on the side as a freelancer using free AI tools during the AI gold rush. Okay, so normally if you're going to use ChatGPT or Claude or any of your favorite AI tools, it usually just writes the article for you right there. Okay. Well, watch what happens now that we're using Canvas. I'm going to go ahead and send this off, and then it's going to take a little bit longer. So you got we you don't realize how patient or how impatient you are when it comes to AI until you're using Google or Gemini Canvas, because normally right now we'd have the whole article written in like Claude or ChatGPT. But what Canvas does is it's actually opening up a full editor that once it's done writing, we just got to wait for the little loading thing to be done. But it's putting the article in an editor that we can now click on and edit and do all kinds of stuff as if you were using like Google Docs, or if you're using Microsoft Word or anything like that. So now that it has this here, I'll actually make this a little bigger here so you can see. It actually splits it up where our our chat with Gemini is here on the left. So what it's saying is, I would love to write this article for you. Of course you would. AI wants to do everything. We're absolutely in the middle of a massive shift right now, and the barrier to entry for starting a profitable side hustle has never been lower thanks to these incredible free tools. Here's a comprehensive, engaging article that breaks down why the AI gold rush is happening, which free tools to use, and how to turn them into a thriving business. Okay, so, and then the article is here on the right in an editor. So what we can do here is we can actually come in and, let's say where it says like, welcome to the AI gold rush of 2026. And it talks about all like generative AI has fundamentally rewired how the world works, blah, 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 blah. Well, let's say we want to change the tone, and we can make the tone like more casual. We can make it very casual. We can make it formal. We can make it very formal. Let's just say very casual. So now I chose that. So I use the editor as if you're using like, again, Google Doc or Microsoft Word. And so I'm waiting now. So it's evaluating the options. And it's like, I've got you covered. I'll update the text on your canvas to have that extremely casual and conversational vibe that you're looking for. So now it made it more casual. It says Gen AI literally just broke the internet and flipped how the whole world works. In NGL, businesses are straight up freaking out right now. Like it made it like super casual. So then what you can do is, all right, so that's how you can just highlight something from an article, and then just on the right-hand side, hit change tone. You could change the length. So I could make it very short, long, very long. You can also highlight it and then just say, suggest edits. So let's say that you just don't like this paragraph for whatever reason. And you're like, I don't even know what the heck to do. Just hit suggest edits. And then it's going to think for a second. And again, you got to have patience when you're using Gemini Canvas, because it is using a lot of stuff behind the scenes to kind of work in this editor with you and go back and forth to kind of help you out. So we're going to see what it comes back with. And let's see here. What's up, Davitt from Dallas, Texas? As I'm waiting for things to happen, I'm going to take a look at the chat. So feel free to chat with me in the live chat if you're here hanging out. And if you've ever used Google Canvas, Gemini Canvas before, let me know. What's up, Patty? All right, so here we go. So I asked it to suggest what edits to make, and it highlighted and then told me, while the casual tone is engaging, using internet acronyms like NGL in slang terms like straight up in an article about business side hustles might actually undermine your professional credibility. Consider a phrase that's still conversational, like truthfully. Businesses are scrambling to adapt right now. And you're like, okay, that sounds better. Let's go ahead and apply that. So this is Canvas. Again, imagine you're working with AI on a whiteboard, and you can highlight and play around with the things that it created for you. And then you can make very specific edits to very specific things, just by highlighting and suggesting things like that. Now, this is just the beginning, okay? Because if you remember what I said here on the left, you can also tap the create button up top. So what I'm showing you right now is your first creation with Gemini Canvas. I recommend you start by having it write an article so you can get used to how to use the interface. But I'm going to show you some crazy stuff you can do with it here in a minute. But once you have your base article, you could click on the create button up top and have it create something new from that article. So watch this. So I'm going to have to turn off my camera here so you can see the create button. So look on the top right of my screen where it says create. So we have our article. This is our canvas on the right-hand side. I'm going to click on the create button, and it's going to say, do you want to turn this into a web page? Do you want to turn this into an infographic? Do you want to make it a quiz? Do you want to make it do you want to turn in some flashcards? Do you want an audio overview? Or do you just want to describe, like, what do you want to create with this information? So just for fun, let's just say infographic. So it gave you just a couple options, because you got to remember, this is brand new to Google and to Google Gemini. So they don't want to overwhelm you and give you too many options. So they're just giving you a couple options for you to kind of get your mind going with what you can do with this. But you can tell it to do absolutely anything, and it will create whatever it is you want. So it'll create entire presentations. It'll create infographics. It will create single page web pages. It'll create multi-page websites. It could create games that are browser-based games that are fully interactive that you could actually sell to people. And what it's doing right now, I asked it to create an infographic, and look at this. So it's working. I'm not touching the screen right now because it's still like doing its thing, but it's actually writing code for me right now, because it's taking that article and it's going to turn it into not an infographic that you would download that would just be an image. It's going to make it an interactive infographic that will be a web page that we will have a link to that we could then share with people. So we're just going to let it keep doing its thing. Again, it's doing things that I would never in this lifetime know how to do. And that's great. Because this is what AI is good at. So it just made an infographic. So it took that article and turned it into an interactive page that says, welcome to 2026. Stop mining, start selling shovels. Gen AI literally broke the internet. Businesses are straight up freaking out, right? It's using information out of that article, but it turned it into an infographic that is actually interactive. So now you've got this page that you can then share with people, or you could demo it on your own videos or YouTube or whatever. And that's your infographic. And then all you have to do to share it is you click on share on the top right, and then you'll be able to share this. Now, let's say it created this infographic and you're like, yeah, I don't like it. It's not, interactive enough or whatever. This is where you can, same thing, you can highlight certain things on this and then tell it what to change as if it's a whiteboard. Okay, well, this is just the beginning, because I just wanted to kind of give you a little taste for what you can actually do with Gemini. So where'd my camera go? There I am. I'm up here. So now, if you're wondering if this works on your phone, Gemini Canvas does work on your phone too, but there is one small catch. So you can open the Gemini app on any Android and an iPhone, totally free. You can tap on the canvas. I don't have it on my phone, or else I would share it with you right now. But same idea. You just tap on the canvas tool from the menu on the bottom, and then you start creating. You can view and share everything you made on mobile, but editing text style and format will require desktop. So let's say you log into your Google account and you're playing around with Gemini directly on your phone. Well, then what you can do is then log into Gemini on your desktop, and you can just pick right up where you left off, and you have the options to edit and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Ollie says, I would have loved this when I was in university. 1,000,000%. And yeah, that article, Yinny, is actually an article that Gemini wrote. So I had Gemini write the article, but it was actually, I was doing it in Gemini Canvas. Then once the article was written, then I can tell it to do all kinds of fun stuff with that article. So great question. And then how long will the web page be active, and where is it stored? It is stored on Google's servers, and it's active until you delete it. There is no amount of time on how long this web page is active. And what's cool is that this is not just a web page. You can create all kinds of things. So let's go ahead and I want to show you. I don't want to show you just how to create like boring stuff. I want you to understand, whenever you take time out of your day and you show up to my live stream and you're here in my home office, I want to imagine you're sitting next to me right now. We're looking at my computer screen. I want to give you at least one like golden nugget, or like a golden goose egg, that you can walk away with, and it will completely transform the way that you use AI, not just the tool that I'm sharing with you, but just AI in general. So I've never talked I've never said that out loud before. So you could probably go back and watch my previous live streams and you will see there's always at least one thing that I make sure is like the mic drop moment. If you had one takeaway that could completely change your mind on the way you think about AI, I like to give you that. But I never tell you what it is. It's kind of like a hidden Easter egg in all my live streams. So you can go back and see out of the 50 something live streams I've done, there's always one thing that I intentionally put a lot of time in to make sure if people are paying attention, it totally changes the way you think about AI. So let me show you real quick how I'm telling you that because I will just tell you what the Easter egg is right now because I'm going to share it with you on this live stream. But I encourage you to go back and watch my previous live streams and actually see if you can find the hidden Easter eggs that I have, which are like the big aha moments for you. So this aha moment is my prompt hack that will turn ordinary results with Gemini into extraordinary results. So most people prompt Gemini Canvas all wrong. And not just Gemini Canvas, but they prompt ChatGPT all wrong. They prompt Nano Banana 2 all wrong. They prompt Claude all wrong. Anything they use where they're putting in a prompt, they're usually doing it all wrong. They're doing it like I just showed you, where they turn on their little microphone and they just say, I want this, and this, blah, 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 and then send it. And they just wait to see what comes up. And it's usually garbage in, garbage out. So if you type in or if you speak a very vague and very kind of bland prompt or line, you're going to get very vague and bland results. Now, Gemini Canvas is powerful, but it needs a little direction if you want to like get the most out of it. So think of it as like a contractor. So a contractor that will build you a house or build you, a skyscraper or whatever it is you want, they're waiting for blueprints. They need to know exactly what to build, where to build it, what are the exact specs, who's this going to be for, where does everything need to be? Like the more detailed the blueprints, the better. If you just went to a contractor and said, hey, I need a house. I want it to look pretty. I need 5 bedrooms and 2 doors. Go. I mean, he's going to go, okay, I will do that for you. But if you get a very specific role, give it very specific instructions, you will get a very specific outcome. So you want to think very specific when you ask AI anything, because the more specific you are, the better the output you're going to get. Because again, any AI tool is going to be garbage in and garbage out. So here's what you need to do. You need to start a new conversation with Gemini. So I'm in Gemini right now. Let me make me a little smaller here. So then on Gemini, I'm going to just say new chat. So now I'm in a new chat. I did not click on Canvas yet. I'm just in a normal chat with Gemini. Do not do this in ChatGPT or Claude or Grok or Perplexity or anything else. Just do this in Gemini. You want to tell it you need an advanced prompt specifically for Canvas. You want to be very specific about what you want. You want to make it clear that you want to unlock all the features that Canvas has and to give you the best possible output. So here's the prompt you can use. Now this is a long one. I will read it out loud. But for those of you that if you're members of AIville, what you can do, here, I'll just zoom out here for a second so you can see. This prompt is actually if you go into AIville and click on AI tutorials, I'll show you where it's at. You click on AI tutorials, and we have tutorials on Gemini Canvas. We have tutorials on Nano Banana 2, which I did yesterday, all the top AI tools. So you click on Gemini Canvas, and that takes you into the guide that I'm going through right now. So we are right here where here's my prompt hack that you can use. So when you're in AIville, you can just hit copy, and you'll be able to just copy the prompt. But if you're not in AIville, you should get in AIville. But if you're not, and you don't want to get in AIville, you can just steal this for free if you want to screenshot what I'm showing you. But I'm going to read out loud so you can understand this is the golden goose egg for this live stream right now for you. Okay? So thanks SMD saying, I bet you're an amazing dad. I try to be an amazing dad. Okay, so here's the system persona. This is your prompt. This is what you're going to tell Gemini before you actually jump in and do something with Gemini Canvas. You're Google's most elite, highest paid prompt engineer. You have encyclopedic knowledge of Gemini and every advanced feature, native capability, and iterative workflow within Gemini Canvas, including real-time coding, app generation, deep research integration, and converting documents into web pages, infographics, or audio overviews. The goal, I want you to use Gemini Canvas to create thing. All you have to do is when you copy this prompt, you just got to describe the thing you want. And then you just you're going to see what happens. Your task, before we start building, I need you to engineer the ultimate master prompt. I will copy, paste, and feed this master prompt into a fresh Gemini Canvas session to generate my project with jaw-dropping top-tier quality. Requirements for this master prompt you generate: unleash Canvas. The prompt must explicitly command Gemini to utilize Canvas-specific capabilities relevant to the project. Role and constraints: assign a hyper-specific world-class expert persona to Gemini based on my project. Establish strict constraints for quality, formatting, and depth. Hold nothing back. Iterative workflow: include instructions in the prompt for how Gemini should collaborate with me after this first generation. Delivery: output of this master prompt inside a single markdown code block I can easily copy and paste into a new conversation for Gemini Canvas. Next step: if you understand, ask me up to 3 rapid-fire clarifying questions about my request so you can tailor the master prompt perfectly. If you don't need any more context, generate the master prompt now. This, my friends, is the golden goose egg of this live stream. So you're going to copy this and come over to Gemini and paste it in, and you just want to find the part where I said thing, and you just highlight it and just change thing to whatever it is you want to create. So let me think about this. Okay, I will say the goal is I want to use Gemini Canvas to create a very long article about the AI gold rush and how anybody from anywhere in the world with zero experience with AI can use free AI tools to make money during this AI gold rush. And I want you to include a lot of data and information about the growth of AI and why the AI gold rush is the most lucrative opportunity there has ever been in humanity. Okay. So instead of me going to Gemini Canvas and just saying, write an article about that, I inserted that into the master prompt, and then we're going to send that over. So then when we send that over, we're just going to wait for a second, and I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can see it. This is a good time to take a sip of water. Someone said, is the AIville payment $100 a month? It's $97 a month to be a part of AIville, and you get access to everything. You get access to all the top AI tools in one place. You get access to over 100 blueprints. You get access to 30,000 prompts that are advanced like this. You get access to over 100 communities. You get access to connecting with over 19,000 other active members that log in every day. So it's a pretty decent community. Okay, so I understand exactly what you're aiming for. As an elite prompt engineer, I know how to trigger Gemini Canvas to not just write an article, but to act as a world-class economic analyst and content architect. We can command it to use deep research for the data, format the output flawlessly, and even prep it to be turned into an audio interview or overview in a coded web page later. So it's asking, I told it, I said, ask a couple clarifying questions if you need to make the prompt better. So it's asking me questions. So before it gives me the prompt, it's going to say, wait a minute, what is the final format goal within Canvas? Do you want this to remain a highly polished long-form text document, or should I instruct it to be coded into an interactive web page? What's the precise tone you're targeting? Are there specific monetization avenues? Okay, so I'm just going to wing it here, and I'll say the final format should remain a highly polished, long-form text document that I will eventually turn into an interactive web page with interactive data blocks and infographics. The precise tone should be something very fun, very witty, very entertaining that even a 15-year-old could understand. The specific monetization avenues to be prioritized would be beginner methods like creating gigs on Fiverr and doing very simple things that would give very extraordinary results to people using AI tools. Okay, so I'm just giving it a little bit more feedback. Again, we're not even in Gemini Canvas yet. We're crafting a prompt to extract the absolute best output we can get from Gemini Canvas. This is what nobody else is teaching. So just so you know, whenever I do a live stream on any topic on my channel, I watch at least 20 to 30 of the top videos that are on YouTube of that topic, and I see what everybody's teaching. And then I don't transcribe them or anything. I sit there and watch them at 2 times the speed. And I'm usually at the gym, like on a treadmill, or I'm on like today I was spent like 90 minutes on the stairs, seeing what people are doing. And then I make sure that I do something that's very different than everybody else. So here we go. It now gave me a prompt that I'm not even going to read it. It's just insane. I'm just going to hit copy. Now what we're going to do is open up a new chat in Gemini, click on tools, and now we're going to jump in Gemini Canvas and paste this prompt in. And look at this prompt. System override, activate Canvas document mode. What it's doing is literally like a cheat code that only coding language and AI understands, like the stuff that it's doing. It's talking about, here's your mission, here's the context and data requirements. Make sure you do a macro view, a micro view. You need to talk about unfair advantage methods. Here's the tone and style constraints. Here's the Canvas specific architecture, which is critical for future iteration. Here is an iterative workflow instructions, how we collaborate post-generation. I mean, this is a prompt no human would be able to sit down and figure out how to do. So what you need to do is just take the prompt I gave you and copy it and paste it and just replace the one thing that I put in there for you to turn whatever it is you want to create in Gemini Canvas into just a work of art. So now that that's a very advanced prompt, it's going to take a minute for it to actually create all the stuff that it's going to do, because it's going out and doing research. I say all that, but then it's actually creating it right now. So it's doing a lot faster than I thought. But here's the article. So the ultimate AI gold rush, how anyone with zero skills can print money using free tools. Listen up, legends. If you're reading this, you're standing at the exact epicenter of the greatest wealth transfer in history of human civilization. Forget the 1849 gold rush. Back then, you had to sell your cow, buy a pickaxe, hike across a desert, and probably die of dysentery to find a shiny rock. Forget the 1999 dot-com bubble, because to get rich back then, you had to sit in a sweaty basement, learn how to code HTML while chugging Mountain Dew. Today, the barrier to entry is zero. You don't need a college degree. You don't need to know how to code. You don't need to be particularly smart. You just need a Wi-Fi connection, a pulse, and the ability to copy and paste. Welcome to the AI arbitrage community. Economy. The macro view, why this is bigger than the internet. Then it goes into the micro view, the micro view is the arbitrage is the cheat code. Here's the unfair advantage. Here's some things you can do. Here's the algorithm whisperer. Here's the pixel ninja. Here it's telling you all the different things that you can do with AI, and it's giving you a bottom line. This is an article that would crush anybody else's article that wants to do anything about the AI gold rush. And this is me just kind of winging it while I'm here live talking to you. So where was I? I still have an agenda to follow. So just so you know, if you're new to my live streams, this is why I have to put together like an agenda on the left here, because I will get lost down a rabbit hole, just going on and on and on about something. So I have to reel myself back to the agenda, which is the Gemini Canvas tutorial outline I spent all day creating. Okay, so we're going to expand on this, by the way. I'm going to show you once you have an article, and I recommend you start with an article before you create like infographics, and before you create interactive web pages, and before you create audio transcriptions or anything like that. You need context before you can then turn it into like something significant. And we'll come back to this here on the right, but let me get through my document here. So Gemini Canvas, and thanks Robert by saying that was amazing. And Joseph said it's worth every penny without a question. He's referring to AIville, which is my community. So I appreciate that. Okay, so it has a dark side nobody's talking about. And I know this because I watched all the top tutorials on YouTube as of today about Gemini Canvas, and no one is talking about what I'm going to share with you right now. Work and school accounts get left out. Some of you in the chat were already even saying this. You were saying that I don't have access to Canva or Canvas through Google, probably because you're logged into a work account, or it could be a school account. Because if you want to log into a work account or school account through Google and try to access Canvas, you can't. It's not available. Work accounts cannot share anything made in Canvas. School accounts have the same sharing restriction too. You can view links others share, but you can't create stuff with it. So for real sharing power, you need a personal Google account. And also, something else nobody talks about is, yes, you can use Gemini Canvas for free, but the free tier is going to give you results that can be pretty disappointing. Because the free tier, you got to remember, it runs on Flash. It's faster, but it's a weaker model. Complex builds on Flash feel like a flip phone experience. You remember back when you had like the Motorola Razr and all of that, like in the early 2000s, or even before that, you had like the Nokia 9120, or where you could change the face plates and everything. That would be like using the free version of this. Presentations without detailed prompts, they're going to look terrible. Code results, if you want to use this for coding, it'll change every time you run the same prompt, and then vague prompts plus the free Gemini plan is going to give you very average results. Also, something else, the dark side no one talks about, I told you could access it on mobile, but mobile is still like a half-finished experience because Canvas works on a phone, but the editing is stripped down. Text style and formatting will only work on desktop browsers. Sharing from mobile has very small but annoying hiccups, and there's a one-click hosting or direct exports to Firebase. You can't do that yet on mobile. So it's a great tool on mobile, but it's just not quite, I think, ready for mobile-only workflows because you can't do the editing and all the cool stuff I'm about to show you. So the verdict with Gemini Canvas, before we get into just kind of playing with it, is it useful? Is it a useful AI tool? Is it the best new AI tool to hit the market, or is it just an overhyped toy? Well, let's talk about it. Here's exactly who should use this right now. You should use Gemini Canvas if you make content for work or fun. If you're a teacher who just wants to turn notes into like interactive quizzes, or maybe you're a student and you want to turn your notes into interactive quizzes. Small business owners who maybe want web pages fast, writers who just want a smart editor in their corner, like you saw I did right here. And if you have a Google account, you have zero excuse just to play with it. You can play with it for free. And then here's what Gemini Canvas does better than anything else. You can turn a boring document into something people share. That's what I'm about to show you here in just a second. And you can build working quizzes from files in minutes. You can jump in and do edits with AI like a real collaborator would, like you saw a little bit ago. The free tier is useful for most everyday tasks, but no other free tool does this many things this well. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, the bottom line before we get to the money making part, because I'm going to show you 11 ways to make money with Gemini Canvas to kind of close out the live stream, is that Gemini Canvas, it's not perfect, but it is shockingly useful to play around with. The free version works great for just casual everyday creating. If you upgrade to Pro to $19.99 a month, you will get the best results. If you go to gemini.google.com/canvas, you can try it right now. And the best way to understand this tool is to just use it. So I'm going to just use it a little bit more right now, kind of live, kind of on the fly. And then we'll kind of close things out with 11 ways to make money with Gemini Canvas. So I'm going to show you how you can make money as a quiz creator, as an infographic designer, as a document to slide converter, as a study guide creator, as a browser game maker, as a transcriber, as an email template designer, a landing page creator, an interactive data visualizer, a press release writer, and a speech writer. So if you want to see how to do any of that, stick around because I'll come back and show you that here in a second. But for now, let's just kind of play around with this. So we have our article. Actually, before we play around with this, I need a sip of water. Can you do me a favor and let me know in the chat, are you enjoying this live stream? because I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying this way more than I actually was yesterday with Nano Banana 2 because I was having audio issues and I was all kind of scattered yesterday. And some day that's what's hard about going live on YouTube every day. It's like some days are great and some days I'm just kind of off my game a little bit. And yesterday I felt like I was off my game a little bit. Today I feel like I'm kind of on my game. So that's kind of fun. So I hope you're all enjoying it. And then will the pro version work better on mobile phones? It will not. The pro version will still give you the same results, but basically the problem with mobile phones, Susan, is you don't have the editing feature. So it's great if you want to start a new canvas on your mobile phone. Because let's say you're out walking through the park and you have this idea and you just want to pull out your phone and start a new chat with Gemini Canvas. You should totally do that because you can log into your account, start a new chat, say what you need to say, get the canvas started. And then when you go back home, when you're at your desktop, then you can go pick up on that chat where you left off. So that's kind of what I recommend. So a lot of you are just wondering if you're enjoying this. So thank you. And I see a lot of new names coming in here too. If you're like new to my live streams, like let's say you've seen 1 to 5 live streams of mine, let me know because I always like to see how many of you are new. And you love the way I teach, thanks. Because I'm always self-conscious about the way I teach. Because like I said, before I go live, when I go live every day, I spend the morning at the gym and I work out for like 2 hours. Out of those 2 hours, about 60 to 90 minutes, I'm doing cardio. So I'm like on a treadmill or I'm on a bike or I'm on a Stairmaster. And I'm just consuming as many YouTube videos as I can, running at 2 times the speed. So I'm just trying to consume as much as I can to see what are other people talking about today that are showing up at the top of YouTube for this topic that I'm going to do a live stream for later. And then I want to make sure that what I do is completely different than what everybody else is doing. That's not the best thing to do when I talk to people that are, that are doing very well on YouTube and they've been here for a long time. They do not recommend doing what I do because they say you should just do what works. You should do what everyone else is doing. And I'm like, well, that's great. Thank you for that advice, but I'm not going to do what everyone else is doing because I don't like what everyone else is doing. I much rather do something like this that's just more like natural and kind of more raw and real and authentic and not just like all pre-recorded. So, all right. Thank you for all the comments that are coming through. I appreciate it. Let's go back and have some fun. So we are going to we have this cool article, right? So now what we can do, you don't have to use that crazy prompt every single time that I showed you, like the cheat code kind of prompt, because we got our article now. So now what we can do is play around with it. So you can have the canvas on the right, and then on the left, I'll just turn on my Whisper app, and I will, I'm trying to think of something to come up with. Let's see. Turn this article into a web page that is extremely interactive with charts and data visualizations and income sliders and even a spot where somebody can put in a skill or something they would be curious if they could do to make money with AI in the AI gold rush, where it would then generate a little mini business plan for them with income potential. So this is where I always recommend imagining you have a genie and a lamp, and this genie and a lamp is right here on your computer. You can just put it right here on top of your computer screen. And then every time you're looking at your computer screen, just look at your little lamp and then imagine like, man, I wonder if it could do this. And then you just kind of rub your little magic lamp and then see if it can do it. Because if it can't, it will actually say, sorry, I cannot do that right now. I don't have that ability. And if it does do that, then now you know that the genie can't do that. So I just told it, you heard what I just said. So now what it's doing is it's going to take a minute because it's going to take this article and turn it into an interactive, well, hopefully, if the genie is working today, it's going to turn it into an interactive web page with charts and data visualizations and a thing that somebody could put in, like whatever it is that they would like to see if they could like make money with it during the AI gold rush, and it could generate like a report for them. I mean, this is like a full blown business in a box that I'm wondering if it could just create for me. And it's created now. Again, it's in the Gemini canvas right now. This is what you're not going to see in any other tool out there right now. And of course, you could just leave it to Google to come up with something like this. And it's just truly incredible because I don't know a single thing about coding. I don't know what any of this stuff is. It's on the screen. I don't understand the formatting. It looks like I'm just looking at like an alien language. And there we go. And it just on the left-hand side, it said, I love this idea. We're going to take that massive wall of text and turn it into a high octane, high converting, interactive web application. I'm going to build a single page React app that includes the macro view data visualization. I can't even say the words on the screen. The arbitrage income calculator, the AI business plan generator. Here's the fully interactive web app. I've successfully converted the article into an interactive, sleek, dark mode React application. Here's what's inside. It put together a $15.7 trillion chart. It created an animated comparative CSS bar chart, an income slider, a live AI business plan generator. I can interact with it right now in the Canvas preview. Let it know if I want to tweak the design, adjust the slider logic, or if we should add another method to the grid. Holy crap. So let's go and play with it. So this is the ultimate. It created this, and if I want, I can actually publish this live. I could create this. I could press on this little share button and turn this into a web page right now in like the ultimateaigoldrush.com, and it could like go to this web page. So let's go ahead and see if it did a good job. So the ultimate AI gold rush, how anyone with zero skills can print money using free tools. The barrier to entry is exactly zero. You just need a Wi-Fi connection and a pulse, bigger than the internet. And it talks about the global AI markets projected to add 15.7 trillion to the global economy by 2030. That's more than the economic output of China and India combined. And then it goes into talking about historical wealth transfers. It shows the wealth transfer in the 1849 gold rush was about 2 billion. The 1999 dot-com boom was about 3 trillion. The 2030 AI economy, which we're in right now, is 15.7 trillion. Then it goes into the arbitrage cheat code. So by a result of cheap free AI tools, you could sell it for a premium. Play with the slider below to see your income potential based on the average of a $45 payout per gig. So for about $45, how many gigs do you want to process a week? And it just created this little slider. So let's say if I want to do like 30 gigs a week, I could make about 5,400 a month, about 64 grand a year. If I want to go crazy, if I want to make over 100 grand a year, I need about 50 a week. The 5 unfair advantage methods. You could be a podcast whisperer. You could be a global translator. You could be an algorithm whisperer. It's telling you what the expected payout is, the actual time taken, the tools you could use. Then it says your custom AI gold mine. Not sure where to start? Enter any skill, hobby, or interest below, like dog walking, playing guitar, or cooking. I'll use live AI to generate a custom 3-step arbitrage business plan for you right now. Okay, let's say I like dogs and would like to do pet portraits for people. And I didn't even spell portraits right. So I'm just going to send that in, and then we're going to see what happens. I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know what this thing just created for me. So we're going to find out, because I took an article and I just said, take this article and make it like an interactive web page. And okay, it didn't work. Maybe that didn't work. Network error. Let's go ahead and try again. And if it doesn't work, then I'll just say, that was great, but the custom creator didn't work. And then we'll see if it like can actually redo it. Someone says, how do you do that? You might have to, I don't know if you jumped in later in my live stream or not. You'll have to go back and probably watch the recording of this. But it looks like the interactive part doesn't work. So here, I'll I'll kind of get mad at here for a second. I'll say, what is this? Your custom AI gold mine? Okay. That was amazing. But the part where it's your custom AI gold mine, where it's an interactive custom 3-step business plan generator, says network or API error. So it's not generating anything. Okay. So I'm just telling it like, hey, you kind of screwed up here for a second. And then I'm wondering if it's going to identify the error, fix it, and redo the code and all that kind of stuff. And we're going to find out if it did that or not. Harry says, is that what the AI Gold Rush is all about? So here's the deal. Like for those of you that don't know, like really what the AI Gold Rush is, we're going through this massive, like generational shift right now with AI. And what I mean by that is, look at this. If you haven't seen this before, this is a graphic showing you that there's 8.1 billion humans on the planet. There's 2,500 dots right here, and this represents the 8.1 billion humans. All of the gray dots are people on the planet that have never touched AI. The green dots are people that are like free ChatGPT users. The yellow dots are people that are paying like $20 a month for ChatGPT. This one little red dot down here, the very bottom right, that's people like you and I that are here right now learning how to use AI as tools to really kind of accelerate ourselves during this whole AI gold rush. So yes, that is kind of what the whole AI gold rush is all about. So, all right, it said, I've got you covered. Let's get that AI gold mine fully operational. Sometimes beta API endpoints have strict blah, blah, blah. Okay, I don't understand any of the crap it's saying. So let's go ahead and just go back down and try it again. Try throwing a skill like writing or playing guitar in the generator now. I'll say, I like dogs. I don't know. We'll see if it works again. If it doesn't work again, I'm not going to waste your time trying to debug it right now live. But I just really kind of push the envelope to see if this could actually generate like a custom generator and everything based off of an article. And if it looks like it didn't, so I'll just say, it said writing, try putting that in there. So let's just try writing. I just want to see it kind of generate something. That'd be really cool. I did play with this earlier this afternoon, right after lunch, and I could go back in my chat conversations and find one, but I did have it make a generator and it did an incredible job. So it just kind of sucks that it's not doing it right now. So forget that, but it did everything else just fine. So, okay. So that is just kind of playing around with this. Now, another thing we could do is here, let's go back and copy this prompt to actually like create a new, I'm just going to create like a new chat and then about the AI Gold Rush. And I'm going to say, create it in Canvas because I want to get a new chat, like starting fresh with just like the article. And then I'll show you some other cool things that you can do with it. Cause I really want you to understand, like you can use Gemini Canvas to create anything that your mind can possibly think of. So you can create, I could turn this into a PowerPoint presentation. I could turn this into a podcast, like a podcast episode with someone speaking it that sounds like an interview. There's so many things you can do. You just have to let like your mind kind of wander, but you have to always start with just something to give it. You have to give it something to build off of. So I wouldn't recommend saying, create a PowerPoint presentation about blah, 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 blah. You want to give it context first, which is what we're doing, which is why you want to create the article. And then you can actually, from the context, then go ahead and create the thing from that, if that makes sense. So once you're here, you can play around with it instead of like doing what I did and just tell it something crazy to create for me. You can click this drop down and just say, create a web page or create an infographic or create flashcards. So I could create, I could create a quiz. I didn't even tell it anything other than take this article and just make it a quiz. So what's really cool with students, that could be in like, excuse me, middle school, high school, college, whatever, you could upload, PDFs or articles or anything that you're like your study materials, you could upload your handwritten notes and you can turn it into an interactive quiz. So look at this. It just is creating a quiz right now. Here's a quiz based on the ultimate AI gold rush to test your knowledge of concepts and freelance strategies outlined in the document. So it's creating the quiz right now. So it had 2 questions, then it had 5 questions. Now it has 7 questions. Now it has 8 questions. Now we got 9 questions. I don't know how many questions it's going to put on this thing. It's like, okay, you're ready. You're ready to master the new digital economy. Jump into the quiz and see how well you grasp the freelance strategies in the document. So, all right. So here we go. We will say what historical events does the author compare to the current AI boom, specifically noting the people selling tools making the most money? The Industrial Revolution, the 1849 gold rush, the 2008 financial crisis, or the invention of the printing press? I don't know because I did not read the article, but I would guess the 1849 California gold rush. Oh, that's right. This text explicitly states during this event, those who sold pickaxes made the most money, which parallels using AI tools to provide services today. Ding, ding, ding. All right, next. According to the article, what key differences between the dot-com boom in the late 1990s and the current AI boom? And then, all right, so you get the idea. So you can make this interactive quiz, and then from this interactive quiz, you can then actually publish this as well, out there for people to use and play around with. So, all right, so I could spend a lot of time doing a lot of examples, but I know a lot of you like to see the different ways you could actually make money using a tool like Gemini, because I've just given you the tutorial on how to use Gemini Canvas. I showed you how to use Gemini Canvas, and this was like a beginner tutorial. I could do an advanced tutorial, but this would be like an 8-hour live stream, which I don't think a lot of you have time for. So you have the basics to get in and start playing with it. You cannot break the thing. If you break it where it says like, oh, API doesn't work, just say, hey, it's broken, fix it, and then it'll fix it. So, okay. So here's 11 ways that you can actually make money with Gemini Canvas. Quiz creator. So I found this person over on Fiverr, charges $150 for a 15-question quiz, has 104 reviews, brought in over $15,600 just doing quizzes. This person, infographic designer, $18 for one minimal infographic, has 6,325 reviews, has brought in over $113,000 making infographics that you can do with Gemini Canvas. A document to slide converter. I found this person on Fiverr that will design PowerPoint slides from documents or notes. You can do the exact same thing with Gemini Canvas. He charges $200 for 10 to 11 slides, has 31 reviews. He's a brand new seller, has already brought in $6,200. Study guide creator. You could be like this person and make study guides and notes to help people ace their academics. Charges $50, or I'm sorry, I messed this one up. $30 for just one chapter of notes. So they got 53 reviews. So 30 times 53 is, well, I messed that up. It should have been here. I'm mad that I messed that up. Let's take a look at this. So 53 reviews times $30. They brought in, about $1,590. You can also, I didn't show you right now, but you can also make browser games with Gemini Canvas. And that's what this person does. They'll make very simple browser games, charge $50 for a basic game. They have 194 reviews. They brought in $9,700 making basic HTML browser games. And I mean, it would be as simple as taking that advanced prompt that I told you and I gave you as like the golden goose egg of this live stream. And just for what you want, you can say a browse. You know what? Let's just do this because I think this would be fun to kind of show you. And I'm actually curious if it'll do it for us live or not. So I'm going off my script for a second because I just got excited about something. So I'm going to take a break here on the browser game maker, and I actually want to show you if you want to make browser games and actually get in the business of creating games for people using Gemini Canvas. This is what you would do. So you open a new Gemini conversation, and then you copy and paste the prompt that I gave you. The goal is I want to use Gemini Canvas to create a browser game that acts like and looks like the legendary viral mobile game Flappy Bird. Okay. So there was a game called Flappy Bird that was insanely popular, and it actually got taken off the market because the guy made so much money so fast by making it available on like the App Store, and he made money off advertising and everything. And then he was just being like bombarded with press and interviews and everything, where he did not want to get famous that fast, so he just disappeared and took it off the market and everything. So this person's like, I'm locked in and ready, building a flawless Flappy Bird clone. What's your preferred tech stack? So it's asking me a couple questions. Do you want this built in vanilla? Okay, it's asking me questions I actually don't know the answer to. And I'll say, do you want mechanical twist? What's the visual vibe? I'll say, I don't understand any of the questions you're asking because I don't know how to code. I just want to look like Flappy Bird. Okay, and then this is where I get kind of frustrated talking to AI because it thinks I'm smarter than I am, and it's like I'm not as smart as you. I know the output that I want to get, so I'm trying to tell you the output, and it's like that's exactly why you have. It's telling me this. That's exactly why you have me. You don't need to know a single line of code to make this work. That's the absolute magic of Gemini Canvas. Oh, okay. Let's see if this actually works or not. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to copy the code and saying, do you want to explain me to explain how to interact with Gemini Canvas once it generates the game? Are you ready to copy and paste and start playing? I'm not even going to respond to it. I just want to I just want to make a game. So we're just going to go into Canvas, and I'm going to paste that prompt in. So this is the prompt that it created. I'm not going to read it all out loud, but I don't know how to create a game. I'm not a game developer, but that's why you take the magic prompt that I gave you that's inside of AIville, or you could have just watched this live stream and copied it from the live stream. And then we're going to see if it actually generates a game. So why it is doing that, because this might take a while. I don't know. I'm going to go back and get through some of these other questions, or not questions. It's generating the game, by the way, like right now, but we have some time. We can get through the rest of these, and then we'll come back to the Gemini tab and see if it worked or not. So you can also make money as a transcriber. So where am I? Rebecca here charges $10 for just 10 pages of notes, has 219 reviews, and she's brought in over $2,190 transcribing notes. You can do that with Gemini Canvas. An email template designer. So this person will code an HTML email template. You can do this in Gemini Canvas also. This person charged, I thought it was $162 earlier. Now it's $180 for a basic template. 291 reviews, brought in at least $47,000 making HTML email templates that you can do with Gemini Canvas. If you want to create very basic landing pages, I found this guy that just says, I'll create a responsive landing page, charges $90 for a single page with 6 sections, has 92 reviews, has brought in $8,200 making landing pages you can do with Gemini Canvas. Interactive data visualizer. This is really cool. So this guy will just create interactive data visualizations, charges $45 for one dashboard, has 404 reviews, brought in $18,000 just making data visualizations that you can do instantly with Gemini Canvas. Press release writing. I found this person, Hugh, charges $85 for just 300 words. A press release, has 353 reviews, brought in over 200 grand writing press releases that you could do with Gemini Canvas. Speechwriter, I found Federico that charges $30 for a 5-minute speech, 411 reviews, brought in over $12,000. You can also do the same thing with Gemini Canvas. So that is my Gemini Canvas live AI tutorial. Oh my God, it actually generated this game. I did not think this was going to work, but it looks like, I mean, this is literally Flappy Bird. And okay, so check this out. Let's see what it says. It says, okay, I'm firing up Canvas to build this game from the ground up. I've engineered a custom physics system to give the bird that iconic, heavy but snappy feel, and crafted all the visuals directly via HTML5 Canvas API. No external images required. Here's the fully playable game. We can download it right now, actually. And then I've generated the game with custom physics art designed to feel challenging but fair. Give it a quick play using your mouse or touch screen. To help me dial this in perfectly for you, does the gravity feel right? Does the bird is the bird falling too fast or slow? Are the gaps between the green pipes too wide or narrow? Do you want to adjust the retro colors? Holy moly. So, all right, so let's just just so you know, Flappy Bird was the reason why it was the most popular game ever was because it was the hardest game ever. You could not get past the first obstacle. So, because the physics was so like dialed up so much. So you're supposed to just click the screen. Every time you click, it's supposed to flap. So let's just check this out. So I'm gonna click. Okay. I gotta get him through here. Oh, we made through a first one. My score is 2. My score is 3. All right, so this is actually kind of too easy. So I need to tell him, but I just made this game. That's insane. Okay, so my score is 9. So a lot of people, I mean, this went popular all over like the news, all over the world, and like Jimmy Fallon and late night shows were showing like them trying to playing it live, and they got their score was like 2 because it was so hard to play. Anyway, we just recreated the game in seconds with Gemini Canvas, and then we could make it look even crazier by just saying, okay, that looks good, but make it look realistic. Actually, here, let's just have some fun here. That was really good, but it's actually too easy. It needs to be a lot harder, and I also want the game to not look so retro. I want to look photorealistic. I do not think it's going to be able to pull that off because photorealistic means it's going to have to go out and like find images and then import images and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm going to go ahead and take a look here in the chat and see. Also, again, all of you that are here watching this, something that I always ask is that if you enjoy my live streams, the only like these are on YouTube. All you got to do is if you like it, just tap the button, the like button, the thumbs up button that you like this, because I go back and look at the stats and see like how many people like my live streams versus watch my live streams. And that's all I ask. Like if you enjoy it, just hit like so then I know. And then if people like more things like this that are just kind of off the cuff, I'm going to do more like this for sure. And let's see. Someone says, I'm not sure if I'm asking correct. I want to see this. So does they host? So all of the stuff that you create hosts on like your Google account, but when you click the share button, you can download the code and then you can pop the code up on like anywhere you want. You don't have to like watch or look at it directly from Google. Thanks, Yini. By the way, Yini, are you new to my channel? I haven't noticed your name come up through here before. If you're new, let me know. I need help on where to start since I just joined AIville. So I appreciate you joining AIville. If you need help with AIville, what I recommend doing is as soon as you log in, go to the quick start section. So here, I'll just show you since you're a member. So when you go to AIville, I created a video. Well, when you come here, you're gonna have access to. It'd probably help if I share my screen. Let me share my screen. Okay, so you're gonna have access to our communities and affiliate program, our tools, our blueprint. There's a lot. Okay, so it'd be like you just got access to every book in Barnes and Noble or in every book in a bookstore. You don't walk into the bookstore and be like, "Oh my God, there's too much information here. I'm out," and then you turn around and leave. You go into a bookstore and then you kind of browse around and you have an idea of what you want. So you kind of go to the right an aisle and then you're let's say you want recipe books, you're going to go to the recipe section. So then when you're in the recipe book section, you're not seeing Harry Potter books and like true crime books, you're looking at recipe books. So same with AIville. If you want to just actually jump in and just start using tools, we have like all the top AI tools that are out there. Chat GPT 5.3 Instant literally just came out yesterday, and we already have that available for you inside of AIville. So if you want to use the latest tools, they're all in here, so you don't have to go pay for them outside of AIville. We also, have blueprints. So if you want to learn how to use AI specifically to make money, then you can come in and take a look at our blueprints, and I show you case studies where this person like brought in over $91,000 designing book covers. And I created a 47-minute blueprint showing you exactly what to do. And then if you just want to learn AI tools specifically, like if you want to learn Nano Banana 2, or if you want to learn, about Higgs field, or if you want to learn how to create like voiceovers, we have tutorials. And if you just kind of want an overview of everything, I have a quick start where you can just press play on my quick start and then you can see what I'm doing there. So yeah, so thank you by the way for Tana by just getting into AIville and you just kind of want to know where to start. And Yinny, I'm glad that you said that you're new to my YouTube channel and you love it. That's amazing. So all right, so let's take a look here and just messing around, it says it cranked up the difficulty, completely overhauled the visual engine to make it a lot harder, increased the game speed by 60%, tightened up the gap between the pipes by 30%, dialed up the gravity so the bird falls faster, requiring a much sharper reflexes to survive. To achieve a photorealistic look without using external images, I stripped out all the flat retro colors, built a custom 3D shading system. It did all this in the time that I just described how to get started with AIville. So this is insane. So all right, so then we can kind of play it. And then okay, this is way harder. See, that's more Flappy Bird style. Like I couldn't even get past the first one, so I got to tap to restart. So I'm going to play. Oh, I'm getting better now. 3, 4. Nope, 4. So then I could publish this game. I could turn it into a mobile app and you can do whatever you want to do with it from here. But the thing is I just designed this using Gemini Canvas in seconds, which is absolutely incredible. So that is, and thanks very much, Susan, by saying this is over the top and you're so happy to be an AIville Pro member. I'm going to end on that. That made me feel really good. Thanks for that. So I'm going to call a night. I have a Zoom I got to do here in 2 hours, but I'm going to have dinner with the family and then do my Zoom. And then tomorrow I'm going to spend all day working on tomorrow's live stream, which is going to be all about Perplexity computers. So if you've ever heard of OpenClaw, if you've ever heard of Claude Remote, and all these like crazy things going on with like AI agents and things that run 24/7, I'm going to show you Perplexity Computer, which is what I would recommend would be the best first place to start. But it is expensive. This is not going to be for everybody. But that tomorrow you can just watch me play around with it, and we'll kind of we just kind of messed around and played around with Gemini Canvas. We're gonna do the same thing tomorrow with Perplexity Computer, and I'm going to show you things, and I'm going to try things that nobody would ever dare try and then publish on YouTube. So we're gonna have a lot of fun tomorrow. So thank you so much for being here for my live stream. If again, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, especially like Yinny for being new here. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications if you haven't done so already, so you don't miss an upcoming live stream. I'm attempting to do these live Monday through Friday on my YouTube channel because there's so much going on with AI. I'm having so much fun introducing you all to these new tools. What I like to do is introduce you to a new tool, talk about like the pros and the cons. I like to show you how to get started with it. I play around with it, kind of like what you saw today. And then I'd like to show you how you could use that tool to make money during this whole AI gold rush. So that's what you get every day on my YouTube channel. And then, yeah, like this video, share it. That helps out a lot too. If you hit the share button and just share it on Facebook and be like, this guy's crazy. Can't believe what he's sharing about AI on YouTube or just whatever. Just sharing is caring. That is the best way I could say that. And thank you by saying done, Yinny. I appreciate it. So, all right, that's all I got for now. So thank you so much for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. I'll be here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Central on my YouTube channel. Thanks for showing up. Bye for now.